All right, okay. So we're going to be discussing the weekend's games after the international break. I'm here with Joe. Uh, Joe posts some FIFA videos and some other videos.
Yeah.
Let him tell
So
you what he does.
yes, I've done like FIFA videos, but it's mainly transitioning into more so like fitness, lifestyle, vlogs, anything like that. So if you're interested in that, then check out my channel below.
Yeah, I'll leave it linked in the description. So now we're on to yeah, Saturday's got quite a lot of good games. Then you got the Man United Watford game, potentially Solskjaer's last game, or it
Essentially.
could be the catalyst of a six-game winning run that keeps
Yeah.
his job.
Yeah.
That's like the most
Yeah.
classic thing. Because
Always
after that,
happens, doesn't it?
after this Watford game, we've got Chelsea and then Arsenal. I think we've got Villarreal in between. But we've got
Okay.
Chelsea and Arsenal. So
Yeah.
I could easily see us drawing with winning this Watford game, drawing with Chelsea, and then losing
Mm.
with Arsenal, and it will still be in a job.
Yeah. 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 No.
That's the most
That,
annoying thing.
yeah. He definitely. If he doesn't win the Watford game, then it's got.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
you say that every time. You say, "Oh, this has got to be the one," but then he
yeah. We
still
said about
manages.
Man City.
Yeah.
The reason I think he's still in a job is because I think the Glazers are now looking for another manager, but I think they
Mm.
only started after the Liverpool game. Like I think
Quite
I don't
reactive.
like I think you know how most clubs will have an idea of who they're going to get or who they're going to sign if this player
Yeah.
leaves. I literally don't think Man United have a clue. I don't think
No.
they have a clue what's going on until they're like, oh, until they hear like results are bad, and then they, all right, we better look for a manager, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's kind of what I think's happening. And then the like because we know if he wins, he's going to keep his job because they never really sack a manager after winning a game.
No,
So you have to
no.
either you're in like a you want him to win, but then you know he's going to stay. So
Yeah, I've been in that position many times being a West Ham fan over the years.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
but
it's a tough one to be in because you don't want your team to lose, but it's like, well, if we lose this one game, is it for the greater good? Probably. So yeah, it's an
yeah,
awkward one to sit on. I think you'll be
mm,
all right in this game. I think Watford have looked a lot better since Ranieri's come in.
yeah,
I thought they
yeah,
was quite unlucky against Arsenal. Obviously, the goal was a bit
mm,
controversial.
yeah, yeah,
Who did they play? Obviously, the first game they got battered by Liverpool, but that can happen to
yeah,
anyone.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
then did they pick up a win after that? I can't remember who
Let
they
me check
played.
there was. It's so
Yeah,
weird
I'm
with these
pretty.
teams. They all the games seem to like fade into one, and you just
Yeah,
never
I'm
know.
pretty sure they picked up a draw, or maybe even a win at somewhere. Um,
Let's see.
Obviously you're checking it now, but yeah, I think
Oh, they
go on.
they beat Everton 5-2. That weird
That
game,
was it. Yeah,
and they
which was a
lost to
bit of a weird.
Southampton. Josh King scored a hat trick,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
but
yeah. So I think go on.
they just have a collection of random players, don't they?
They
Like
do.
like like you don't really know any of their play, and you're like, oh, he plays for them. Like they don't seem to go out and sign, like with like a Leeds, they go out and
Mm.
like, oh, we want this player, and then you hear about it. And with Watford, it's just like the players turn up. It's so weird.
Yeah, I feel like they've just got a load of like free signings from like bigger clubs that are out of contract. Obviously, like Danny
Yeah.
Rose, people like that. They've just got loads of random players like that. Is Etienne Capoue still there? I don't people, you
Oh
know what
yeah,
I mean? Like they
I think he's still there. Yeah.
just players like that. They just love there.
They love
But
the loan system because their owner. I don't know if they're still owned by the same owners, but their owners used to own Udinese and Granada, so they would just
right.
loan players between them. So when they were
Okay.
in the championship, because this was when the championship had no rules for loaning players. So I remember
Okay.
one year, it was either the year they got promoted or I think it was the year they might have lost to Crystal Palace in the final. You know when Zaha
Hmm.
was there
Yeah,
before
yeah, yeah.
Zaha went to Man United. I think they had
Right.
like half their squad on loan.
Oh,
It was like
really?
ridiculous. Yeah, because they would sign them on those loans, like 2 year loans. You know what they do in Italy?
Yeah,
They get
yeah.
those.
Because they
Yeah,
that would explain. Because didn't Delafeu go to Udinese after
yeah,
Watford?
yeah.
Yeah, so that
Oh
makes
yeah, where
sense.
did that? Because De La Fey was at. Yeah, De La Fey got caught in that where he was at Watford.
Yeah,
He was at Milan before that, went to Watford, and then something like that.
Everton. He was at
Yeah, I
Everton
remember
for
when
a
he was
bit,
at
wasn't
Everton because he
he?
was
Yeah,
at Barcelona and he was like a wonder kid, and then
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
but
he
yeah, but
faded out.
Watford.
But gone.
But I can easily what this. Where is it? Is it old? I keep forgetting where all the games are. I think
Yeah,
it's.
I think it's at Old Trafford. Actually, I don't know because your last game was at home and theirs was away, so
Oh no,
maybe
it's at
it's
Watford. It's at Watford. Yeah.
at
Oh,
Vicarage
that's
Road. That is their stadium, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I like their stadium. It's such like
yeah,
a, and I like their badge as well because it's so distinctive. It's like got that. I remember it
yeah,
because they were in. Do you remember when we were like 6 or 7? They were in the Premier League and they were really bad. I remember them
yeah,
from that because I used to when when you play FIFA and you see the badges and you remember the
Yeah, yeah,
badges. So I
yeah.
always remember the Watford, yeah. But this
Mm.
just seems like such a banana skin, like for
I
Man
think I
United.
think you'll be all right. Obviously, when it's your own team, I think you worry about it more. From an outsider's
Mm,
point of view, I think you'll be all right. I think you're probably better away than you are at home, just because you haven't
yeah.
got the pressure. So I think Watford might start lively, but I think if you get one
Mm,
goal, you could easily get two or three quickly after that. So yeah, if I was
yeah.
going to guess, I'd probably go maybe a 3-1 Man United.
Yeah, but Harry, did you see Harry Maguire's celebration where he did the ears? And
That's
then Roy,
controversial, and I didn't watch any. I don't really watch the England
yeah,
friendlies
I
just
don't watch
because
him.
I thought all like all the qualifying. I watch all the tournaments. I watch all of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
games, but like 10-0 against San Marino, what's the
yeah.
point?
What is it? Do you think anyone? Because when I was younger, I used to watch
Mm,
all the England games, but
right.
now I think, what is there anyone really who's sitting at home watching the 70th minute of San Marino?
I,
Like
I
who's
think
sit?
people. I think people do. I don't know what it is. I think whether they just put it on and have it on in the background.
Yeah,
But yeah, just I can't find anything. I think the only time I've like turned it on maybe is if like a West Ham player's playing,
yeah, yeah.
or like been called up or something like that. But other than that, it's just so boring, and
Mm,
it's just not like tournament football. You come against
yeah.
these random countries that you
I
just
know.
beat convincingly. We might occasionally draw 0-0 to one or something like that, and then but
Yeah,
yeah, they are boring.
like the international break is such like a weird because it just disrupts the momentum, and then you kind of forget
Mm,
what's happened before.
yeah,
Like with Solskjaer probably wanted the international break to come because it
mm,
means you get like at least you get the pressure taken off you a bit. Because after
yeah,
that Liverpool game, it was on him, and then the City game, but now it's sort of he's sort of got a bit like there's not been that much pressure for the last week, but then it's
no,
gonna like ramp up again. But I don't know
yeah,
who because the thing that's annoying about the international break is some players like Pogba got injured and he's out
mm,
to the new year. That's so
yeah, yeah. I
like
saw that.
managers must get so pissed at that. And Varane got injured with France as well, like the last time.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Like they're just playing like dumb like qualifiers and friendlies. And
Yeah, we got quite lucky because I think Rice pulled out the England squad because of like illness or something.
yeah, I
But
love
for
when they
us,
do.
yeah, it's just good for us because then obviously he'll probably be all right for our next game. We've got Wolves at the weekend,
Yeah,
and he'll probably be all right for that. And again, we don't run the risk of injuries, which is pretty much like define our season at the moment. It's like if we get one or two injuries, we could be in trouble. Obviously, Ogbonna's now out
yeah.
for probably a little while.
Hmm.
But yeah, one or two more, we could be in trouble. But yeah, going back to the celebration, I think it's just tragic. And I think
Yeah.
he got caned, rightfully so.
Do you see Roy Keane? What Roy Keane said?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I know Roy Keane's always so harsh, and he is funny. But you can't really not agree with him there. It is pretty tragic, isn't it?
Yeah, but what I want to know what he was thinking though, because what did he think? Like, oh yeah, now that I've proved the haters wrong with this goal and this meaningless fucking
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's just an emotional thing. I think if you've been
yeah,
getting like battered online and then you've scored, you probably just forget in the moment. And
yeah,
like he's just done a knee, and it's probably just one of those. He's just gone like, you know what I mean? Like, say if
yeah,
like you're playing FIFA with your mate and you're getting battered, and then you
yeah,
score
yeah.
one goal, you'll probably give it some. It's kind of like that, really, isn't it? Like you're just
The
doing
the
it for the sake of it. But
the equivalent of this is if you're playing pro clubs and you've missed about 10, you've played about 5 games and you've missed sitters in all the games, and then you
yeah,
score like the fifth goal and you're like, yeah, I told you so. That's basically
yeah,
what. Also, because he's a defender, like if you score, it's like you don't really get much credit. It's like, oh, you just happened to be there. Like if he
yeah,
had a defensive masterclass, maybe. But
mm.
all these problems are from his defensive
Yeah. You want them
actions.
to do their job first, don't you? Like it's
Hmm.
if a defender scores every now and then, but they can't defend. It's like, what's the point? But yeah, it was a weird celebration.
Yeah, I can easily see him having a mare on against Watford and Roy Keane being like, ah, like
Ismail
that's and
Assar just absolutely running rings around
yeah.
him.
Oh yeah, yeah. He seems like a because he did it against Liverpool, didn't he? You know when I think
Yeah.
the season before last, I think it was that game where they beat them 3-0 and they
3-0.
stopped.
Yeah, yeah. I think he got two in that game.
Yeah, he seems like
Um,
a he seems quite like I feel bad that he's at Watford because if he was at like a Leicester or somewhere or an Everton, he'd be like so much more wanted. But it's
yeah,
just been
yeah.
like, mm,
He's an interesting. I've never really watched him. I got him in the fantasy team, so he had a good
yeah,
couple of weeks. So he got me some good
yeah,
pointage. But yeah, I don't know. He's obviously ridiculously quick, but I don't know how. I haven't watched Watford enough
yeah,
to
yeah,
deem how good he is. But yeah, if they
mm,
get relegated, I could easily see him going to like an Everton, a Leicester,
yeah,
maybe even West Ham or someone like that.
yeah, yeah. But like especially with Ranieri now. Like
Mm,
I don't know why. I didn't even know. I didn't when their manager got sacked. I didn't even know their manager was the manager.
yeah.
Like, but I was like, what? How? I didn't even remember him, because Watford just sack managers like it's like
Uh,
they have no like with Man United where they're like hesitant. Watford as soon as they're like, yeah, he's gone. But
yeah.
yeah, I
It's
could see.
ridiculous. We've got like imagine
Yeah,
being a player at imagine being a player at Watford.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
just inevitably like say like Ben Foster, I know obviously he does all the YouTubes and he's been
yeah,
there for
yeah,
years. But like just imagine like you get a new manager and you're just like, yep, well they're probably gonna get about 6 months. Like it
yeah.
must be
No.
weird to like actually try and invest in
And
a
also,
manager.
you know when it's going wrong, you know,
Mm,
just say you lost 4 games in a row. Everyone's like, oh, your manager, the guy that is managing us, has probably only got like 2 weeks left. So they know that they're not gonna like, oh, we'll
yeah.
just. But then it means that the players, oh, because it used to happen with Chelsea. But I think it's
Mm,
actually quite a kind of like a good thing, because what it does is like with Chelsea, what it would mean is the players would have it of like would give up basically for the manager, but then when the next manager came in, they'd have like a big boost. Like they
yeah.
did that with
Yeah.
Avram Grant and like Gus Hiddink and a load of Di
Mm,
Matteo. They did that for. So
yeah.
it means they get like a bounce. So that would probably help Watford, and I could easily see Maguire running into someone or doing something, and because especially without Pogba now we're gonna have to play Fred and McTominay at the base of midfield. We're gonna have
Mm,
Ronaldo up front. Sancho's not gonna play. I can't.
no.
I don't think he's gonna play five at the back. If he does, he'll get caned from
He
like
can't play five at the back against Watford, surely.
yeah. Did you see? Apparently he was trying to play Sancho as a right wing back, and then
Oh, was he?
everyone
Yeah.
got pissed at him. Yeah. So, but that's so funny. Like he has no authority. Like he just does stuff, and then everyone's like, "What are you doing?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, I'm not doing that."
It
Like
reminds me of like the Sunday League team we're playing for. We just had like loads of like players as the managers, and like they're just like
yeah,
making
yeah,
subs like sort of while we're playing. And it's almost similar to that where like the
yeah,
players are
yeah.
making the decisions. We've got a manager now, um, but yeah, it's just carnage there, isn't it?
Yeah, he is basically like you know when you got a Sunday league team and one of the dads takes over,
Mm,
and you're like, oh, why is he the manager? But I mean, he does carry the boots, so or he does have all the
yeah,
equipment, so we got to let him. That's basically what Solskjaer's like there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's
He's
just
respected by everyone, but yeah, no one really
yeah.
likes the job he
But
does.
surely if it's a defeat, he's gonna get sacked. But
Yeah,
there's because if he loses again and they don't sack him, I'm just gonna like, at what point are you gonna sack him?
yeah.
Because
No, if they don't sack him, if they lose to Watford and they don't sack him, he's 100% staying until the end of the season.
yeah, yeah. It's
Because
like Gary Neville. But have you seen Gary Neville? Gary Neville, I don't know what it is about Gary Neville, but he
mm,
never once thinks a manager should be sacked.
no,
Like, so they like to him, oh, but he's got Ronaldo, he's got all this, and they basically come to the conclusion for him, like, oh,
yeah,
so it must be the manager, and he says, yeah, but it's the Glazers, and then I'm like, well, it's irrelevant to this situation. The Glazers aren't why we lost 5-0 to Liverpool, are they?
no, no. I think it's probably maybe because he done so badly and he knows what it
Yeah,
feels
that's the
like to be
word. Yeah,
sacked. It's probably
he had
oh,
like,
obviously it's his mate as well, so that
yeah,
plays into it. But yeah, I think
yeah.
it's probably just not a nice feeling to go on TV, especially someone you
Mm,
know,
mm.
and just go, yeah, get him gone.
But they do it with players all the time. Like they'll be like, "Oh, he's not good enough," and he used to
Yeah,
rip players. Like
true.
with Arsenal, he used to. I mean, with Wenger, he did it with Wenger, didn't he? Do you remember?
Yeah,
That's how Gary Neville
yeah.
basically got his name, because he would go on and just say how bad Wenger was. He'd be
Like
like, "Oh,
spineless and all
yeah,
that.
yeah."
Yeah,
But then when
yeah.
it comes to even like Mourinho or like anything about Man United, it's like some wrapped in some like philosophical view about not sacking managers. But yeah, but
Yeah. Well, maybe he's trying to maybe he wants a higher role at Man United and is trying to keep in the good books. You know what I mean? Like, say if he came out and
yeah.
caned someone, does he then? I don't know if he does anything with Man United. I don't think he does,
No, because
but
he keeps like slagging off the board and the actual.
right.
So so he's slagging off like the people above Solskjaer. He
Yeah.
always says like, "Oh, the club, it's the way the club's run." I'm like, "Well,
Okay.
tell us how it should be run," and he doesn't expand upon that. It's just like, I
Yeah.
mean, he's obviously trying to avoid the
Okay.
inevitable.
Yeah.
But even like Ferdinand has cut. Ferdinand came out and said, "Oh,
Mm,
maybe they do need someone else." So I think Watford's definitely, if he loses, he's gone. The worst is going to be a
yeah.
draw, because the worst is always a draw, because when you draw, you're like, well, it might as well be a loss, but
Mm,
you don't get the benefit of the reaction from the board
yeah.
if it was a loss. So
And I think what's the mad bit is like you'll see teams like who was it? Norwich. They sacked their manager after a win,
yeah. Oh,
and like or
oh,
who was
was
it
it their
last?
first win?
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
think they sacked him after their first win, and then like who else has been sacked this season? I think the Watford manager maybe got sacked after a draw. There was a couple last season. I can't remember, but it's
Uh,
mad how them sort of clubs will sack a manager even after a good result. Yeah, and United are just sitting
yeah,
tight.
it's because no one really cared. Like with Man United, they're in the news so much that it's scrutinised all the time. Whereas with
Mm,
Watford, people are like, oh, they sacked their manager. I didn't even know that because
yeah,
they just fly under the radar. So, but
yeah.
I reckon it will be, I reckon it will be a draw. I reckon it'll be a 2-2 draw. I think
Okay,
will be Watford will score first.
okay.
Um, will come back. Ronaldo will score one of the goals, either the equaliser or the. I think Ronaldo will score the equaliser. Rashford will score the one to put us ahead, and then we'll fuck it
Yeah,
up in the last 10 minutes with someone random mistake. Either Bailly's going to slice the ball into his own net, or Maguire's going to
okay.
run into Luke Shaw.
That
So
is
that's my prediction.
that's going to be a good clip if it comes true.
Yeah, yeah.